Visual Radio, Sun FM TV.
Sun FM, broadcasting from the Copperbelt capital, Ndola City.
This is your favorite station. Sun FM. The news.
With the news, my name is Alan Mwale. The headlines. Government has tabled sweeping pension and social security reforms before the tripartite consultative Labour Council aimed at strengthening Zambia's retirement system, improving benefit equity and extending coverage to informal sector workers. The Electoral Commission of Zambia, ECZ, has dismissed the allegations that voting took place at night during the Chawama parliamentary by-election. The Zambian Civil Liberties Union has urged the Electoral Commission of Zambia, ECZ, to adopt modern technologies in the forthcoming constituency delimitation exercise. And in sports, the Zambia women national team has been drawn in Group C alongside defending champions Nigeria, Egypt and neighbors Malawi in the Morocco 2026 Women Africa Cup of Nations WAFCON. The news in detail shortly.
The news, 88.5 Sun FM.
The news in detail. Government has tabled sweeping pension and social security reforms before the tripartite consultative Labour Council aimed at strengthening Zambia's retirement system, improving benefit equity and extending coverage to informal sector workers. Minister of Labour and Social Security, Brenda Tambatamba, said the council was considering key legislation including the National Pension Scheme Bill, the Public Service Pensions Fund Bill, the Local Authority Superannuation Fund Bill, and the Pension Scheme Regulation Bill. Ms. Tambatamba said the reforms were intended to improve benefit accuracy, equity, financial sustainability, governance and regulatory oversight, and long-standing stakeholder concerns. She said the government recognized the far-reaching impact of the reforms and remained committed to continued tripartite consultations to ensure balanced and socially responsive outcomes. The minister further announced that the council would consider Zambia's prospective ratification of the International Labour Organization ILO Social Security Minimum Standards Convention 1952 number 102. She said Zambia had already recorded compliance in key areas such as medical care, old age, employment, injury, and invalidity benefits following the ILO comparative assessment. Ms. Tambatamba also announced the signing of a memorandum of understanding to extend social security coverage to the informal sector workers through partnerships with traders and marketeers associations.
I urge all of us here today, left and right, at the front and back, to engage with these texts not as instant proposals, but as...
Meanwhile, the International Labour Organization has urged Zambia to ratify Convention 102, saying the move would strengthen pension reforms and enhance income security for workers amid rising cost of living pressures. ILO Director for Mozambique, Malawi, and Zambia, Willington Chipepe, said the recommendation was critical to ensuring adequate, equitable, and sustainable pension systems. Mr. Chipepe said the ILO had supported Zambia through technical assistance, gap analysis, and nationwide consultations, which confirmed compliance in 4 branches of social security.
Help prevent poverty, reduce inequality, and maintain a standard of living that is acceptable to all. Pension systems also influence labor market decisions and have important fiscal implications. The rising cost of living affects everyone, but its impact is especially severe when income declines at retirement. A predictable and adequate pension system is therefore not only a social protection measure, it is also a stabilizer for households and a source of confidence for the labor market. This underscores the need for comprehensive reforms that are coherent, well-coordinated, equitable, and efficient, and that promote adequacy, flexibility, and sustainability.
And Zambia Federation of Employers representative Myra Ngoma said wage and conditions of service negotiations progressed smoothly during the year with no major labor disputes recorded. Ms. Ngoma said harmonious industrial relations were essential for productivity and economic stability, adding that employers supported sustainable pension schemes and the extension of social protection to informal sector workers.
As the FE, we support the Minister of Commerce, Trade and Industry, Honorable Chipoka Mlenga's call on business houses to reduce the price on number of products. It would be unfair for business houses to maintain the current high prices when the cost of doing business has been lowered and end up posting super profits while having subjected the Zambian worker to the high cost of situation. Forms, guests of honor, ladies and gentlemen, it is our view as employers that taking care of workers must not only be during their working life. There must be also a credible system of ensuring that the future of workers in terms of their livelihood post-employment is taken care of as well.
The Zambian Civil Liberties Union has urged the region of Zambia, ECZ, to adopt modern technologies in the forthcoming constituency delimitation exercise, stating that digital tools would enhance efficiency, accuracy, and transparency. Acting Executive Director Derek Chekwe welcomed ECZ's assurances that the process would be conducted transparently and inclusively, and commended the Commission's commitment to engage key stakeholders, including the Surveyor General, political parties, and civil society organizations. Mr. Chekwe said the political actors should approach the delimitation exercise constructively and in good faith, cautioning against attempts to politicize or undermine the process. Parties will field candidates during the August 2026 general elections, making credible participation essential. He further urged the stakeholders to move beyond the polarized debate that characterized the discussions around Bill 7 and instead focus on ensuring a fair and equitable delimitation outcome. In drafting the amended Electoral Process Act and the proposed Electoral Systems Act, as provided for under Article 49 of the Constitution, he said broad consultation is critical to securing public understanding and acceptance of any electoral framework that is adopted. He added that the responsibility of reshaping Zambia's democratic landscape should not rest solely with the ECZ and the government, describing the reforms as a transformative national undertaking. The Electoral Commission of Zambia, ECZ, has dismissed allegations that voting took place at night during the Chawamo parliamentary by-election. ECZ chairperson Mwangala Zalomes who toured several polling stations, expressed concern over misinformation circulating on social media, suggesting that the commission was attempting to rig the election. She emphasized the importance of credible reporting to help the public understand the electoral process and commended the election observers for their role in safeguarding transparency.
The reports that we have had, even from them, that the election is peaceful, so they haven't had any incidents of somebody who stopped. We came across one or two, not that were stopped, but they were newly registered, and they wanted to vote in this election. And of course, they can't vote because they are not on the register. They check their names against the registers. Their names don't appear there. Once our register is certified, once they've validated themselves, then they appear on the register. So,
an observer from the Exodus Party for Peace and Prosperity confirmed that voting in the constituency began at 06 hours in nearly all polling stations, directly contradicting the claims shared online. Meanwhile, some Chawama residents have voiced frustration over what they described as inadequate information regarding voter eligibility for individuals who recently transferred polling station and centers. They said the resulting disenfranchisement was troubling. In response, the ECZ clarified that newly registered voters will only be eligible to participate in the forthcoming general elections, as the by-election is being conducted using the 2020.
So my parents wochita repress kasimu kasema nani kanani kavota sikasema nani uzasema sinanyamuke so nezo zibati kuvota that's wananyamuka na chile la bana pezati sini system
it as my independent kuna
tina dabo chifukwa but bazima ndio afunisisa onkala mu machani ma politics mu parliament chifukwa muzimai ndi azoventi pitamo bazibambo amatisi abayenda but bazimani nje timavutikana ma family set tizibaventi pitamo so bazimai bafunika this time kuzifakamo tifunika bazimai kuzifakamo osalekela bazibambo.
Presiding officers at the polling stations are visited by Sun FM TV. News confirmed that voting commenced promptly with all stations opening on schedule. The electoral process has so far proceeded peacefully with no incidents of violence reported. In addition, a number of voters expressed expectations for the incoming MP, urging that priority be given to development initiatives within the area. Key concerns raised included the improvement of water and sanitation services, the upgrading of drainage systems, and the upgrading of drainage systems and the creation of employment opportunities to support local residents. The appeals highlighted the community's desire for enhanced infrastructure and sustainable livelihoods as part of Chawama's development agenda.
That's where I stay, those small loads which goes into the compound, it's flooded with water. So we don't understand what is happening, whether the CDF is working, but we are hearing in other places CDF is working. But in Chawama, I don't see any CDF working because it's flooded. Even if you go around, you will find it. It's flooded all over. So we expect a lot of things to be done, especially the drainage system. It's very poor.
It was a good experience. Otherwise, there was no pressure because where I went to watch from, there was no queue. Just there we have a few roads that are still have to be done, and also drainages. Yeah, those are the major things that we do.
The Zambia Metrology Agency has issued a directive requiring all petroleum transporters and oil market. ZMA Executive Director Humphrey Nkobeni emphasized the importance of compliance in safeguarding fair trade practices and ensuring the integrity of petroleum transportation across the country. Mr. Nkobeni explained that under the Metrology Act number 6 of 2017 and the Metrology Measuring Instruments Regulations SI number 55 of 2021, all tanker trucks transporting petroleum products must hold a valid verification certificate issued by the agency. He said the requirement applies to both local and cross-border transporters, including those registered under the Energy Regulation Act of 2019 or any other legislation. The agency announced that it will soon commence a nationwide inspection.
We've notified all the sites, commercial sites,
depots, retail sites, to ensure that the only load and offload tanker trucks that are verified by the Zambia meteorologists. Further, I would like to inform and guide the transporters with trucks which capacity indicated on the certificate of verification for each compartment. They shouldn't load below or over it. This is very, very important for the inspection and monitoring of compliance during loading and after loading.
The Ministry of Agriculture has moved swiftly to emerge in the Ianda Plains. Farmers in the area raised alarm after noticing the infestation, prompting authorities to deploy officers to contain the situation. Officials have emphasized that the rapid response is critical to preventing widespread damage, as locusts are known to devastate fields in a short period of time if left unchecked. The deployment includes technical teams equipped to monitor the spread of the locusts, apply control measures, and work closely with local communities to mitigate the impact. Farmers have been urged to remain vigilant and report any new sightings to agricultural officers to ensure coordinated action. Protecting the Ianda Plains from locust families in the district, authorities have reassured the public that measures are in place to contain the outbreak and that lessons from past infestations are guiding current strategies.
The Department of Agriculture Services in Itejte's district of Southern Province has since deployed officers to Ianda Plains to commence the locust ban's management. This comes after recent reports by farmers in the area.
We are in the Kafue Flats, Ianda Plains, in the Itejte Central Camp, where we are doing locust management. We are spraying the locusts. We did the surveillance and we actually identified the areas locust copper bands. So before we give them time to grow and mobilize them to swarms, we at the ministry are trying to manage it at this stage where it is easy to manage them.
Mendime milani shankanga nime senior headman shantanda kuyanda twalumba babantu baza kutuswaya kambo kono twakwate penyi lya nkwikwi yatushupa yo bateria aba spray bamani he alimwi aba tupe chipolopela chipompe bandaka ambwe bandale lyonse lilizile nkwikwi ina ine nkwikwi bantu tabakalo yabakala pompo miundo mabari iyo ikulumende netyo ene bikile mwizezo mwibanda muri kyakurya kuyina kunji kutukutukila.
For the people of Ianda, the invasion is more than an agricultural setback. It is a stark reminder of the growing vulnerability of food systems to environmental and climate-related shocks. While assessments and control measures continue, farmers here are hopeful that the interventions will bring relief and safeguard what remains of the season's harvest. Until then, the fields of Ianda stand as both a warning and a call to action. Reporting, Valentine Mundea for NICE, Itejteji.
Construction of the $18 million Sakanya border facility in Ndola is progressing steadily, with works reported to be ahead of schedule. The project is being implemented under a public-private partnership PPP arrangement with Avic International as the contractor. Copperbelt Minister Elisha Matambo, who toured the site alongside other government officials, commended the contractor for adhering to financial discipline while ensuring quality standards are met. Mr. Matambo emphasized that the financial prudence demonstrated in the project sets a benchmark for future infrastructure investments, underscoring the importance of aligning expenditure with economic returns. The border facility is expected to play a significant role in boosting both local and cross-border trade once completed. By streamlining customs and immigration processes, the investment is projected to enhance revenue collection, reduce transaction costs, and improve efficiency for business operating between Zambia and the Democratic Republic of Congo.
A modern border facility is rising in Ndola, set to transform trade,
traffic and business along the Copperbelt corridor. Copperbelt Province Minister Elisha Matambo toured the site, inspecting the works and expressing satisfaction with the quality and progress. He says the project aligns with President Hakainde Hichilema's directive that public works should be completed on time and at the right cost.
And the infrastructure which is here, I'm sure you've seen, is reached an advanced stage. And what they have told us by August, it will be completed. So this simply shows that President Hakainde Hichilema is working his talk in a lot of things, almost in all the sectors. The modernizing of this border post, as well as where we are going, Kasumbalesa, has given a new face to our district in Dola.
Business manager from Avic International, Jack Wang, overseeing the project under a public-private partnership, says the facility is being built at a cost of 18 million United States dollars and is expected to be completed ahead of schedule in August.
So once the project is done, we have the 32 buildings for the infrastructure, and as Mr. Coleman mentioned, we have the 70 kilometers road is 100% done. So once the project is finished, so we can enhance the road safety, and we provide the long-term regional development, and most important, we're gonna do more economic distribution for Zambia and the DRC.
Meanwhile, Provincial Infrastructure Officer Hagai Kaoma says the Sakanya border facility will accommodate over 200 trucks, including banks, shops, police posts, and housing units for workers.
It is a 3-story building, 2-story for activities, and then services on top. Then also next to it, we have the business center, which will have some banks, shops, and the like. Yes, Honorable. So as you can see, in terms of the entire structure, it's already standing.
Once complete, the modern border facility is expected to improve trade between Zambia and the Democratic Republic of Congo, enhance traffic flow, and boost economic activity across the Copperbelt province. Reporting for Sun FM Radio and TV, Agnes Nakazwe.
Drivers operating between the mine and the town center in Chililabombwe district have commended government for rehabilitating Kamenza Way. They noted that prior to the repairs, they faced significant challenges in ferrying passengers back and forth along the route. The drivers have further appealed for the installation of speed humps and the construction of lay-bys, stating that such measures would help them avoid difficulties with traffic officers when dropping off passengers.
Mine market we have come down Kamenza Way. Kombuto tule chitako fya piu kuteko chako bokutida batulindire kwa mampu ukamenza Way kuno tutashirenda bwe. Ero futi imi miseo batu pange tashakwata kwa marebai apaga batu tuwa imi na wasendo muntu. Ba traffic ngabakusanga uri musego kukwikata. So tuyero mabo kwa bati miseo nga bare panga bare biza kwa marebai apaga batu tule imi na kona ifu tule senda kwa.
Tule ndok mamtao nyukisaga. Yapari popo wala imani na pakwe bati walamanga kwa mabreku wiskufu mato kudia speed jeta so this watibige mama sinaliwa kanto.
In addition, they have requested improvements to Independence Road and other roads within the district, highlighting the need for broader infrastructure upgrades to support safe and efficient transport services.
The negotiation kula ndakupashiri pile apene tubapelela payusize kamba kuka ku Independence Road ku stage jam amisebo kwena na ubipa then futhi no imisebo aya ku Mintondo skuru kuyafika kuma efuria nakwena umisebo tawa wino yapanyana ngusenda nango abalwele ole bafinya pama ino sikitole batwaro Nangumulwere ati babwino chwamkumufishanisha umubiri ke uri kindu kindu yabaye bisebo tashiri bwino
piufuti kuri umusebo wafuma pa Catholic na ukalero yari amatrene chibare imbadi yakukola sana almost 3 months so treasure ko kupita ni nawo senda balwele abefumo ulefoka ngo basendera panganda wala basenda sha so trero mbako kubalekisha popopya misebo ko kwa maminja ko watu wombera ko padi kuri umusebo.
We take a short break and return with sports.
The long-awaited MTN Super League is here and it's live on Top Star. This is more than football. It's pride, it's rivalry, and it's glory. As Zambia's greatest football league takes center stage, heroes are made, rivals collide, and passions rise. From Kitwe to Lusaka, from Ndola to Mazabuka, every goal, every cheer, every moment comes alive on Top Star, the MTN Super League. Our game, our pride, our home. Bola Yatu. Subscribe today and watch it all live in HD on Top Star and the Star Times own up. Top Star, the official broadcaster of the MTN Super League.
And in sports, the Zambia women national team has been drawn in Group C alongside defending champions Nigeria, Egypt, and neighbors Malawi in the Morocco 2026 Women Africa Cup of Nations WAFCON. According to the draw conducted in Rabat today, the Copper Queens will be based in Casablanca and will use the Labi Zaouli Stadium. Group A has hosts Morocco, Algeria, Senegal, and Kenya, while Group B comprises South Africa, Cote d'Ivoire, Burkina Faso, and Tanzania. Group D has Ghana, Cameroon, Mali, and Cape Verde, and will be based in Fes. The Morocco 2026 WAFCON will run from March 17th to April 3rd, with the 4 semi-finalists earning qualification to the Brazil 2027 FIFA World Cup. Zambia debuted at the FIFA World Cup in 2022 at the tournament hosted by Australia and New Zealand. In other sports news, Mufulira Wanderers Football Club has officially confirmed that striker Samuel Chiposa has completed a one-year loan move to Ron United Football Club in a transfer aimed at securing regular game time for the highly rated forward. The agreement will see Chiposa spend the 2025-2026 season with the Luanza-based outfit before returning to Mufulira Wanderers during the mid-season break of the 2026-2027 campaign. Mufulira Wanderers Acting Chief Executive Officer Evans Chinyanta explained that the decision to loan out Chiposa was taken with the player's development family in mind. He noted that consistent minutes at Roan United would help the striker sharpen his competitive edge and continue his progression. Chinyanta emphasized that the club fully recognizes Chiposa's quality and potential, describing the loan as a strategic move rather than a separation. Wanderers remain confident that the striker will return as a more complete player, capable of making a stronger impact upon his return. Meanwhile, Samuel Chiposa has welcomed the move, expressing excitement about the opportunity to gain valuable match exposure at Roan United. The striker made it clear that the loan does not mark the end of his journey with Mighty. He believes that the Roan United environment will allow him to grow both technically and mentally. And that brings us to the end of this edition of the News to End. We recap on the headlines. Government has tabled the sweeping pension and social security reforms before the Tripartite Consultative Labour Council, aimed at strengthening Zambia's retirement system, improving benefit equity, and extending coverage to informal sector workers. The Electoral Commission of Zambia, ECZ, has dismissed allegations that voting took place at night during the Chawama parliamentary by-election. And in other news, the Zambia Civil Liberties Union has urged the Electoral Commission of Zambia, ECZ, to adopt modern technologies in the forthcoming constituency delimitation exercise. And in sports, the Zambia women national team has been drawn in Group C alongside defending champions Nigeria, Egypt, and neighbors Malawi in the Morocco 2026 Women Africa Cup of Nations, WAFCON. That's where we end. My name is Alan Moore. Do have a great one and stay tuned to Sun FM TV.